Hello, everybody. Welcome back. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back. We got another exciting episode today. We got a lot of things to discuss. We have also a special guest coming on, a friend of mine who knows a thing or two about promotion, and he knows about it because of boxing and things like that. And he just started staking Hex, so I figured, hey, why not come on the show? So hopefully he pops in, but if not, that's okay too. Welcome everybody. Got a good show today. We have a lot to talk about. We were talking about TikTok, obviously, Hex price movement, Bitcoin price movement, some maybe Pulsechain updates, a little bit of Tether news, a lot to talk about. So welcome everybody, and happy MLK Day. We got Ted Cash, drum roll, as we await Furu Finance to share his inspirational ideas on outreach and engagement. Thank you very much, Ted. Always appreciate your kind words and tuning in and modding. So, we got 5 watching. How you guys doing? You want to say something in the chat? What's up, everyone? Romanian Dan, keep up the good work, brother. Thank you, Romanian Dan. Appreciate you tuning in. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. We got 6 watching. Let's just get into the chart. So we got Bitcoin. Wow. Something actually happened. And Michelle says, happy Monday. Listening from work. Awesome. Hopefully I can make your work experience just a little bit better. Soon you might not be working, right, Michelle? Soon you might not be working. And Chad Donnerschwan, Swans of House on his chat. Good morning, Furu, Ted Cash, and Kings in the chat. Good morning, Chad. Thanks for tuning in again. Let's just get into the Bitcoin chart, guys. We have Bitcoin at 21,004. What a rip. That is, how many green candles do we have? One, two, three, four, five, six. 6 in a row, then a pullback, and now we're green. We're at 21,004. Right now, we are actually, I missed this resistance. If you forgive me, we are at we're at a critical point of resistance right now for Bitcoin, right over here. This is really the point to watch right now. Lines are looking really neat. We could actually delete this one because this one is already broken. Okay, that's neat. Okay. So right now, Bitcoin is at a critical point of resistance. It has wicked down and rejected it maybe a little bit, but no confirmed rejection. So we like to see it get above 21,200 and consolidate above there and then head higher. But if it doesn't, then it may be headed lower. But if it breaks above this line of resistance, then we are headed to that target of 24,000, 24K Bitcoin. So are we gonna confirm the break and go to 24,000? I wouldn't be surprised. And where's the point on the chart where if we reach it, then we could confirm Bitcoin has in fact bottomed. This was the capitulation wick right here. What would be that point? Because most people aren't saying bottom yet. I mean, actually, a lot of people are saying that we're going new all-time highs and the bear market's back in, which is insane. But there's no way that's happening. Bottom, it's possible. Bottom is very possible, and I actually had a tweet about that, which we're going to see in a second. But I'm liking what I'm seeing. We just have to make it above this resistance and stay above it, and then maybe we could say if we hit 24,000 that we bottomed. Now, if you look at the last, so this is that would make this capitulation, right? That would make this wick down here, the capitulation, bottom, reversal, sideways consolidation. Go like this for a year, right? That would be the ideal situation. But if we just look over here, if we just look over here, during the last bull market, when we went up to 20,000, this was the capitulation. Now it looks kind of similar, although this is, I think, a little bit longer. So a longer capitulation period. So yeah, this is considerably shorter. Is there like a measuring tool for that? Okay. Whoops. I'm becoming a pro with these tools. Measure that. $67 days. 67 days. And what was this capitulation? Say till here. That would be 179 days. And then it like ripped up. And then it came all the way back down and crashed again. So it's really, no, you know what? But this first candle was the bottom. So let's adjust that a little bit. Yeah, okay. 142 days. But you could really say that the bottom was maybe over here. Yeah, we got to count from the... Yeah, see, over here, the bottom's already in. And it's just sideways and then fake out to pretty much 14,000, come all the way back down to 3,800. So that same way, we could have it over here. We could go up a little. We could bounce sideways. We could even go up really high. People don't even realize we could go up to $40,000. We could go up to $40,000. We're still in a bear market. We could go up to $50,000 and we're still in a bear market. Why can't we go up to $50,000 and then crash back into the 20s or the early 30s? Probably late 20s, or maybe, even early 20s, even early 20s. We could crash back to like 25,000. In fact, that would be par for the course in a bear market. So is it possible that the bottom is in? I think it's very possible. And furthermore, I wanted to just jump to a tweet that I said, because there's two things that are preventing the bottom, or preventing me from saying for sure bottom. One is digital currency group. I don't care about Tether and I don't care about Grayscale anymore, because those have been, people have been saying that People have been saying that for years. People have been saying Tether and Grayscale were going to crash the market. It pretty much is like the par for the course when everyone's bearish. It's Tether and Grayscale. And it's not Grayscale, but it's Tether. So Tether's basically par for the course. Like when we're at capitulation, everyone says Tether's about to go under. Tether's about to go under. Am I saying it's for sure not going to go under? No, but I don't know. I don't take it seriously anymore. It's a little bit of a China ban Bitcoin in my eyes. Digital currency group. One of the reasons I'm not so worried is because wasn't so surprising like FTX. Like it's been going on for a while, and I feel like it's in all parties' best interest to figure it out and make it work, so to speak. Like Gemini doesn't want DCG to go under, and they'll probably work something out. They're very heavily regulated as well. It's not something going on in the Bahamas, so I think maybe perhaps the bottom's in. Perhaps maybe the bottom's in. But we won't know until we know, until we're at all-time highs. So I wouldn't be surprised, and I continue to dollar cost average. But the reason why I say this is because I actually tweeted this morning. Where is it? Yeah. No, it's not. Let's go to my Twitter. Are you following Furu Finance on Twitter? You should be following Furu Finance. You should be giving this live stream a like and a retweet as well. And this tweet I just tweeted. Point is, yeah, here we go. 11K in prey was based on Bitcoin crashing 85% during the last bear market. The thing is, Bitcoin pumped considerably more last bull run. Is it fair to say that since Bitcoin pumped less, perhaps it dumped less, and 15,500 was the bottom? Food for thought. Yeah, is that not fair? Richard Hart, his whole entire basis for 11K is an 85% dip, because in the past, Bitcoin, meaning last bull market, Bitcoin dipped 85%, but it pumped over 100x. So shouldn't the fact that Bitcoin only pumped 17x warrant less of a dip? Instead of dipping 85, it could have dipped 80. It's not that much less, but it's less. I think that's fair. I think it's fair, but who knows? I still think that, Richard had it more right than anyone else, but does he have to be on the money? Does it have to be that Richard Hart said 11K, so it has to wick to 11K and then we're going back up again? I don't think so. And a good example of him not really being so correct was when he called the top at 64K and it went to 67K. I mean, he likes to say Judas candle and whatever, but I mean, at the end of the day, he was wrong, technically speaking. He was technically wrong, even though he was more right than everyone else. Pretty much everyone else was saying 100K, and he said it was going back to 11K, so he was the most right, and he's still awesome. But technically, it made a higher high. So, again, in this case, he could be more right than everyone else, but still wrong. And what's the chances that he'd be exactly right on the bottom call? It's like very, very, very low. So, I mean, if it goes to 10K, he's wrong. Technically, goes to 12K, he's wrong. 15K is not that far from 11K. So I'm thinking it's very possible that the Bitcoin bear market, not the Bitcoin bear market, the Bitcoin bear market is still here for another year, folks. Don't get that wrong. Like, we're still going to have these fake outs, and regardless of whether we bottom or not, we're still going to have these massive pumps, even up to, 40, 50,000, and then, complete slaughter liquidation candles. But that's not to say that the bottom's not in. The bottom could very well be in, especially considering inflation is coming down, which is huge. So inflation's coming down. They're saying the next rate hikes are going to be, and this is all speculation, guys, but people are saying 25 basis points. So we're maybe two more 25 basis point rate hikes before there's no more rate hikes. And I think that the markets will take that very bullishly. And I think probably a couple months after that, they're going to maybe lower the rate hikes, provided that inflation keeps coming down, which I think it will. And I talk about it in my newsletter. So you should be subscribed to the Furu Finance newsletter. Are you subscribed to the Furu Finance newsletter? You'd be hearing about inflation and things like that, things I don't talk about as frequently on the show. So let me link the Furu Finance newsletter in the description so you can subscribe to the Furu Finance newsletter and get more information. But is the market not pricing in? Is the market not pricing in the fact that inflation is going down and the Fed's probably going to take the rate hikes down? It would make sense that it is, but I don't know. We'll see the next CPI, but it's been going down a lot and probably a lot faster than people expected. We're at 6.5 now. Highest print was 9.1. So let's see. If the next one's like 4%, I don't know, man. It's looking good, but who knows? How sure are you in percentage? Good question. 46% sure. An Abyss machine. How much Hex? Yeah, I'm going to tell you. I dollar cost average, and I keep staking. Okay, Noel. Great work, Furu. Love your show. Thank you. Hey, I never seen you here. Welcome to the show. I mean, welcome to the comment section. I hope you subscribe and like the video, and hope you become a patron. And let me just give a quick shout out to my patrons. My patrons support me. I got 2 patrons so far. Yesterday, I just met with one of them just because I'm supposed to have well, now it's a Zoom call. We're going to do a Sunday Zoom call instead of the show. Sunday Zoom call for patrons. But since we only have 2 patrons, I just met with one individually. The other one didn't have time, but I would have met with him individually as well. And we just talked about, we got him a staking ladder. We got him a hardware wallet. We talked about the Pulsechain launch and things like that. But let me give a shout out. My patrons are Peter and Yinon. So shout out to them, and we appreciate them. And right now, if you're a patron, you get a free consultation, $100 value for free for $20 or $30. You just have to email me. Anyways, moving on. Links in the description. We got the Hex price. You guys all want to know about the Hex price. Nobody cares about Bitcoin. And it's true. Why should anyone care about Bitcoin when you got Hex? The only reason why we care about Bitcoin is because Bitcoin leads the market. Point is that Hex has been pumping. We're at 2.7. We fell below the support, but came right back up. Missed the target of 1.53. So if any of you guys were trading, which I said not to, because you guys should never trade, you probably got wicked out. And then now we're holding this as support. So now support reconfirmed this level, this trend line right here as support. And we're headed back up for I'd say 3 cents. We should be headed at least to like 2.99 cents. And then if we break that, then we're headed to where we're headed to? No, this is the next level of resistance. I'm figuring this out, guys. This is the next level of resistance. Just like Bitcoin's having resistance here. We're going to have resistance here, which is at 4.7 cents. So if we break above this, which is very, very possible, because I think Bitcoin's going to continue to rip because it's literally been so oversold for so long. We're going to go 4.7, and then next resistance is right here. I should charge you guys. My TA course. I'm kidding. I wouldn't do that. If I believe TA worked, I'd charge you, but obviously I don't believe it works. So then we have 7 cent. Are we going to have 7 cent Hex? And then if we break the 7, we have that price target of 18 cents, which coincides with this resistance right here. So let's try and make it over the 3 cents for Hex. And if we make it over the 3 cents, then we could head to 7 and then for 18 cents. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that's it? I said the bottom. If the bottom's in for Bitcoin, I really believe, especially with the Pulsechain launch coming up, with the V3 and then imminent Pulsechain launch coming up, I believe that the bottom would be in for Hex. And I said I'm 46% sure. But that's really how I see it technically. I guess we have to look at the bearish case as well. So yeah, if we bounce back, then we're headed down for that 5 point. We're headed down first for that 2.2 cents and then pretty much that 1.5. If we bounce off this, then we're headed back for if this resistance holds, then we're headed back here for support on this trend line, which is at like 2.3. But if we break this, then we're probably headed to a penny. I don't even have to draw a trend line. Then we're probably headed for a penny unless we reverse and then go back up. So I covered all the scenarios. That's your TA there. Make sure you join my trading group. No, I'm kidding. But that's your Hex technical analysis. If you're enjoying the show, please like, subscribe, and send a super chat. And we got what's going on with FTT? This was like this sell short squeeze again. 2.7. Very green day except for Flare, because Flare's, I think it was the XRP airdrop, and nobody likes XRP. They're a bunch of losers. Very green day. Where's Hex at? Right there, up 10.9. Nothing crazy compared to the rest of the market. Sand is killing it. APT, Aptos, whatever that is. Solana. Yeah. Mana's up like crazy. Metaverse. And yeah. Let's take a look at what's going on with FTT just to see why it's up. Is it another one of these short squeeze narratives? A revival in the works. Amid a bull run, mini or not, literally anything can pump in the crypto market, even a token such as FTX's FTT token. After the tragic fall of the exchange, everything about the exchange crashed, including its reputation. However, after a while, it seems as though a piece of the exchange is trying to stage a revival. Over the past months, following the exchange's bankruptcy incident, FTT had fallen from a range of 25 to $1. Though it may seem as if there's no hope for the token, some may find it useful as in the past few days, the traders have been accumulating and the collapsed exchange's crypto in an attempt to make quick gains. So it's not really saying anything substantive. Oh, there's the revival. Given the state of FTT's token prior to the pump and the sudden surge, the chances appear to be less of a revival, but instead a manipulation by traders. There you go. Manipulation by traders. Also, it's just a very reflexive. It's a very reflexive system. So obviously, if you go down that much, you're gonna have a reflexive bounce to the upside. I think that's really the best way to explain it. Even if your token sucks, it doesn't go straight down. There's always going to be, that bounce up. Yunon Sofer, great coaching. Thank you, Yunon. Yes, Yunon is my patron, and you too can be one. And we had a session on Sunday for free because, like I said, first of all, you become a Patreon. Link in the description. You get a free consultation. But also Sunday, instead of having the live stream, I'm just meeting with them because I only have two. But thank you, and really enjoyed it as well. I appreciate you saying that in the comments. If you want a free consultation, email me furufinance@gmail.com. But yeah, that's that for the FTT stuff. And we got Twitter. This was cool because it was Funding Jim. Funding Jim says, I took advice from Furu Finance and putting content in short format. C150 traffic visited me in Las Vegas to meet up with Dollar Cost Crypto, Rational Mail. That's Rollo Tomasi, Michael Sartain, and Jason Hartman. Fun with friends. There you go. And then KDPPLS. Freaking awesome, because I quote her all the time. She's been providing such great material to cover for the show. She's like, I think we all listen to Furu Finance's advice. I think a lot of Hexagons will move into short videos and TikTok. He and Yori Hex definitely took the charge on this one. Yori has been killing it. Her views are through the roof. Absolutely. And like I keep saying, Yori's been on it for only 8 weeks and she has more followers on TikTok than anyone has subscribers on YouTube. TikTok is the behemoth for onboards and viewership and virality. It's also the trend, and they say the trend is your friend till the end. YouTube is legacy. YouTube and Twitter are kind of like Bitcoin and Ethereum. They're legacy. They're not where the young people are. It's not cool. When you have a crypto community, you want to be trendy. You want to be with the times. You want to attract young people, even though young people don't necessarily have all the money. Older people, when they see the community is young and hip, whatever, like they want to be a part of it. And I think we are seeing that. And TikTok, let me tell you guys, the TikTok operation, the TikTok campaign, so to speak, for Hex has been making incredible strides beyond what I could have even imagined. And we're going to go through some of it right now. But that's awesome. I'm sure you're following KDPLS and you're following Funding Jim. But yeah, it's making a difference. And then I'm like, yes, hope to see you on TikTok as well. And then she's like, I'll be coming over shortly. Sweet. What? KDPLS will be on TikTok. And she's going to like it because she's going to realize, why should she put all her time into Twitter? I mean, not that she shouldn't be putting any time into Twitter. She should be putting time into Twitter. But putting all this time into it and getting when she can be putting it into TikTok and be getting so much more engagement for her work, getting so much more virality, so much more viewership just for putting in that same work on TikTok, she's probably going to feel like TikTok's the better deal and continue posting on TikTok. So I think we're going to see a lot of people maybe moving over to TikTok, and that is going to make Hex viral. We're already getting viral numbers with many accounts right now. And the Telegram is popping. Let me send you guys the invite to the Telegram. Right now, we are at 185 members on the Hex TikTok and YouTube Shorts Telegram. Could we get that to 200, please? $200. Click the Hex TikTok and YouTube Shorts Telegram link. We're going to discuss it. You don't have to be a TikTok or a YouTube shorter to join the Telegram, but there's no reason why you shouldn't be doing it, because all it takes is finding a good clip of Richard Hart, downloading it, and just arbitraging YouTube Shorts and TikTok. You don't have to put your face out there. You could still be anonymous. But yeah, that's really that for that. And we're going to get to the TikTokers I wanted to bring up, because they've been doing such a great job. They've been on the cutting edge of onboarding and virality and getting new people into the Hex space. It's not been on Twitter, it's not been on YouTube, and it's not been IRL. Because IRL is probably the worst, because you can only reach like one person unless you're speaking at a big event, which you could reach like 100. TikTok, YouTube Shorts, you could reach thousands. You could reach hundreds of thousands, like we see with Jack Explains Crypto. Jack Explains Crypto. He's not exclusive, and I think it's maybe good that he's not exclusive. It's like he covers Logan Paul. If you're a Hex TikToker, you want to get some followers, hashtag Logan Paul, cover his NFT thing, because Logan Paul is a little bit of a juggernaut for virality. And then once you get those followers from covering Logan Paul, you start covering Richard Hart, you start covering Hex Pulsechain, PulseX. They get exposure. So he posted, he's a pro, absolute pro when it comes to TikTok. He has another account. I don't know if I'm supposed to mention it, but it has 150,000 followers. Go click the link for Jack Explains Crypto and get on that. And actually, I told you guys in the beginning we were having a guest. He knows quite a bit about promotion. So and he's a Hexican. He's a day one PulseXican. So I'm actually bringing him on right now. Actually, let me just promote the TikTokers. Nah, I have to bring him on. Bringing him on. What is going on? Could you hear me?
Yeah, what's up? I hear you good. You hear me?
Yeah, guys. This is Joey. Joey is a boxing expert, and he's a day one PulseXican. He's got a hex staking ladder. He's a very smart man, and I thought I was talking to him, and I used him as an example one of the past episodes, saying I got this friend who was telling me about the importance of promotion in boxing. And then you messaged me. I'm like, why not just bring you on and we could talk about promotion and we could talk about Hex and we could talk about crypto. So what's going on, Joe?
Doing good, feeling good. What's happening, man?
Doing well. Tell us how you got into Hex.
Well, of course, obviously this guy right here, Furu, Furu's top. He's number one, obviously, when it comes to this stuff. I don't really, I didn't know so much about it. I'd heard, different things, but a lot of times by the time you hear things, it's already too late. And that's kind of how it's been, with me in the past, where like you hear about something, but then it's like, you're late on the wave. But you had told me about this. You were like, yeah, this is coming up. This is on the come up. Do it. And I'm like, you know what? He believed in it so much that I'm like, I'm down to give it a try. So yeah, I really, just thought it was something interesting. And then when you told me more about it, I kind of learned more and more about it, and it made more and more sense to me. So
we're trying to get that early retirement, right?
Trying to get that early retirement, 100%, of course. And I'm sure a lot of people listening to this are trying to, get a lot of financial flexibility and early retirement too. I mean, it's that's what it is. That's what all this is, right? It's the American dream.
Yeah, it's the American dream, and we're gonna get it. And it is interesting because you're usually not into these things. Actually, I remember when the GameStop thing happened, and like I called you, I'm like, you got to get in, whatever, and like you already knew about it, and you were getting in, and then I couldn't buy any of those. I couldn't buy any of that GameStop, and it already
even that I was late to that too. That's what I'm saying. Like even by the time I got into that, it was it was late on that. So yeah, exactly. It's a lot of stuff, and obviously you're up all you're on this every day doing it. So I watch your stuff and try to learn more about it. I'm far from an expert when it comes to this stuff, but yeah, I mean it's really just been something that seems to be working. So why not keep going with it?
Yeah, it's interesting also because like I really was like adamant on you sacrificing for PulseX.
Yeah,
and you were like yeah, whatever, and then like
yeah.
Hex was down a lot. I'm like, maybe you should, get some Hex. And you're like, oh, maybe. And I thought, oh, I don't want to push him. Like, he's not so into it. And then you text me. You're like, we got to get this ladder going. We got to. I'm like, yes.
Once I'm in it, I'm in it. Yeah. Once I'm in it, I'm in it. Yeah. It's like, I was wishy-washy to start, but once I'm in it, I want to stay committed to it. I want to do it to the best. So.
Yeah, you got a 5-5-5-5.
Yeah.
You got a 15-year stake going. You got a 15-year. So that means you're in it to win it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess let me just go through the TikToks and then we'll talk about promotion because that's very important. And we'll also talk about your TikTok. Let me get this. So yeah, so this is a good example. So obviously I have Furu Finance. I got 2,000 subscribers. My most viewed video is I think maybe 6,000-7,000. You do boxing at Joey Talks Boxing. What's your most viewed video with 300 subs?
I don't know. It's a short, and I think it's a Jake Paul. He just like him or hate him, and he's big on the internet, and it's a Jake Paul, Conor McGregor thing, I think.
Yeah, so it's interesting. So It's a good thing when the Paul brothers are engagement juggernauts. Like, you use
Yeah.
their hashtags, you could get 100K views. So I was telling, so he is a crypto account right here. So what did you get? You're saying maybe you got like 30,000, 20,000. I know you had a long that had like
It's yeah,
20,000.
it's a lot. I don't know exactly, but it's I think it was over 10K, 14K maybe. It was a big it was something
Yeah.
like that.
So this guy he's covering a niche topic too. So like, you're less niche in boxing, he's covering crypto. Um, he has 1,055. He had 600 at the time. On a Richard Hart video, he got, where is it? He got 152.5 thousand views. If I anyone that did the Hex streamers, whatever, that cover Richard Hart, the most views they get on a video, and they got like 20K subs on YouTube, is like 30,000 views. This guy got 152,500 on a Richard Hart video with under 1,000 subs. Well, what's your take on that? What does that say about TikTok?
It says a lot about TikTok. It says a lot about Richard Hart. It says that a lot more people are into this than you would have thought, and it's growing. I mean, that's what it shows. I mean, and the thing with TikTok, from what I've noticed, is that it's like, same with YouTube. When you hit a certain threshold, then the next 1,000 becomes easier. Then the next 1,000 becomes easier. Then the next 1,000 becomes easier. So just getting it off the curve is very difficult. But when you get it to like 1,000, then it gets to 2. Then from 2 to 5,000, it's easier than the first 1,000. 5 to 10, it's easier than the first 1,000, and so on. So yeah, it makes sense. And this is a growing industry. I feel like a lot more people are into this. There are people that are into crypto that I would never even think would be into it at all. I see people in the street talking about it, and people like, oh, do you have this? Do you have this? Do you have that? These are people that I would not even think they know how to use the internet. So yeah, it's definitely a lot bigger than I think people realize.
Yeah, and like, it is the launch pad for virality. So there are a lot of people out there that they're starting YouTube accounts, and my advice to them is only do short form content, because you're able to get 1,000, 2,000 views easily on a YouTube short and on a
Yep.
TikTok. So, and also, people don't have to search for you in order to view you, because you get served. Like, your content gets served to people. It gets brought to them. They don't have to come to you, so to speak. And like, Twitter also gets served, but like, it's text. It's not significant on the screen. But
Agreed.
literally, when you come across a random person's screen, you have their full attention for at least the duration. So if you could catch their attention within a few seconds, you have their full attention. And then the algorithm processes it and keeps feeding it because it sees you're interested. Like, there are a lot of these accounts on TikTok that I watched for like a couple seconds, and I didn't even I didn't follow. It keeps coming back on my feed. It's unbelievable.
Right, exactly. And that's the thing with the shorts. It just shows you, shorts and TikTok shows you how instantaneous everything has to be for people, and how short, because people don't want to watch a 5-10 minute video a lot of times. Some people
Yeah,
do, but a lot of people, they're like, boom, boom, we got to go. We got to hustle. So like this with the live, you have some people that watch the live, but when you chop this up, you probably get so many more people from this. So
true. Yeah,
yeah.
that's a great point. And yeah, another thing I want to say about TikTok is it's trendy. It's where the young people are. And I know people say, oh yeah, why should we go on TikTok? There's just a bunch of kids there. But first of all, it's not even true anymore. There are a lot of adults on TikTok these days. It's not what it was like even 2-3 years ago. There are a significant amount of adults, but also it onboards kids and adults. They even adults and rich people, they want to see like a community, a niche, that has young people there, because it makes them feel young and it's trendy. There's just something special about it. So I think it's even important in that aspect. But what's your thoughts on the trends?
Seems like it. I mean, I thought that TikTok was just for kids. Now, I went to my cousin's wedding, and all the little kids were making TikTok videos. So I've thought, oh, that's just what a bunch of 12-year-olds do. But after seeing the success you've had and other people have had, and I guess what you would consider more adult-like content, seems like it's not just something for teenage girls. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, that's the thing. So the teenage girls are, so adults use it, but they don't really get it. Like, when I'm very comfortable making like 5-10 minute videos because I grew up on YouTube. You know, when people were making the home videos, you know, you had like people were like editing. It was like a new thing. Like even if you're not a producer or like you're a cameraman, like you could learn to edit and you could produce your own videos and show them to the world. And that was really trendy. But like we didn't grow up on the TikTok, so these kids have a huge edge because they really get it and they have the time to really like learn and figure it out. So like you have all these little kids that are going viral on the platform, but the adults don't really want to step in there. They don't want to get out of their comfort zone, and what they don't realize is that the reward for like just getting uncomfortable and learning the short form content and how to make a well produced TikTok is so much greater than YouTube, because YouTube's gotten so concentrated. It's not what it was when we were kids. It's not really. It's more legacy. A lot of people are paying for ads. There are a lot of big content creators that are in front of you. It's not what it was, except the short form obviously is, but the long form isn't. But what are your thoughts on what I just said?
Yeah, I mean, I think YouTube. There's so much stuff out there on YouTube, and from so many different industries that yeah, it's difficult. It's an uphill battle. I think maybe the top of YouTube is better to be at than the top of TikTok,
Yeah,
but in terms of like that like second or third tier, no. I mean, and it's hard to get into that. It's at this point, I feel like it's almost as if it's like a well guarded position that is very difficult to attain.
yeah,
So yeah, I mean, TikTok's on the rise. I guess the argument for the YouTube would be there's more stability in that because YouTube has proven to be big for a very long period of time, whereas TikTok has only been a few years. So maybe people
yeah,
look at like TikTok might not be big in a year, but as of today, it seems to be doing well. It's been big for a few years now, so
yeah.
seems good.
What I say is that TikTok is more for outreach and Shorts is for outreach. YouTube is very good engagement. Like it's very good for connecting with your viewers and stuff like that.
100%,
Yeah.
100%.
But Orion says, are the numbers truthful on TikTok? I mean, I'm sure there's ways to get around, like to make fake ones, but in general, they are. And I've seen videos that I made go get way more viewership than on YouTube, and that's completely real. We got Jack Explains Crypto. We got Hex Millionaires Club. He's got 5,589 followers, and look at some of the numbers he's getting. So right there is 1,200, 1,400, 1,230, 5,900. Has he gotten like any insane ones? Not sure he's gotten like the crazy. Yeah, look at that. 247,000. 247,000 people saw his video. And then that one, he's got a Richard Hart one with 62.4 thousand. Again, you're not getting those numbers. You're not getting those numbers on regular YouTube or Twitter. It's just not happening. But we could just go to the next one. Is we got VRD Hex. Now I like this one because he answered the calling. I told everyone you guys gotta start TikTok, YouTube Shorts. He started. He really gets it. Like he has this Andrew Tate video, which is very good. You guys could check out. And he's been getting like I think almost 1,000 here, and then he's been getting like 700-800 on his other ones. And he literally just started a couple days ago. His YouTube Shorts have been getting tens of thousands, not tens of thousands, but they've been getting like 2,000-3,000. He's doing a great job. You go follow him on TikTok right here. Click the link in the description. And then we got Crypto Gains Club, another one started pretty recently. Very professional, also really gets it. You know what I told people to do, Joey? So you ever get those Andrew Tate videos that come across your Shorts feed or your TikTok?
I have.
Okay, so look, so basically they put a video game on the bottom because it sort of holds your attention and like satiates that ADHD tendency that you want to multitask. You don't want to be looking at one thing at once, and it works because Tate obviously is like one of the most famous people in the world right now. And that's how they promoted him. So I said, why not? I don't know if I said it might have been Hex Whale. I said we have to do what Tate did. Hex Whale might have had the idea to do half of it video games, but it's been really effective. Like people have been getting like over one view. One got 450,000 views. One video on this template. So, what do you think about the video game for promotion? The video game half.
I think it's a good idea. It's like when they have in these talk shows, they have like B-roll in the background because they know people. They doesn't keep their attention without having some kind of motion picture in the background. So that's a great idea.
Wait, are you going to consider doing this for your shorts?
I'm looking into this now. Yeah, I am.
Oh my god, yeah, no, we're gonna get to yours as well. But so we got him. I'm sure you did I link it in the description? So we got TikTok for crypto gains. Been doing some great work. He's been active in the Telegram. And we got financial. Oh, this is a good one. 28 followers, 1,463 views on this. Joey, would you have ever gotten 1,463 views on short form content, on long form content? I'm sorry, with that amount of followers.
I don't think so. I can't imagine it. I mean, it would be very difficult. It would have to be something that just took off out of nowhere. I can't see how.
Yeah, it's not possible. And this is Crypto Hexplained. He's got a YouTube channel as well. He does actually. He's also an anon, but he does like these whiteboard videos, which are awesome. So linking that here. And we got My Chess Moves. Been putting, these are some good trendy ones here too. A lot of people, she also answered the calling. So a lot of people have been stepping up the TikTok game. A lot of people have been mentioning they've been noticing a lot more Richard Hart and Hex content been coming across their TikTok feed and things like that. So it's really looking positive. Again, guys, join the Telegram. And then we got another one. We got Joey Talks. Shoot. Here. What's your thoughts on Joey Talks Boxing's TikTok?
What's weird about this is sometimes when I do it, I throw something out, it gets like no views, but then when I throw something out random, it'll get a lot more views. Like I don't know if there's like a rhyme or reason based on topic, but you don't know what the public's going to react to completely. But if you scroll down, I got a few that were pretty big in there. Again, Jake Paul, big engagement.
Jake Paul's a juggernaut.
Yeah, Connor, he's a big one. Mayweather is a big one. But yeah, I mean, it's I at first I just put stuff up. I didn't realize how to like title it and stuff. And then I kind of learned like, no, you gotta, draw people into it more. So yeah, I mean, it's something. The TikTok audience is definitely big. And I think what I didn't realize is that I was making it. I'm thinking about the hardcore fans only, but in order to blow up, you need the casual people, and I think that's the key to any promotion is trying to get the casual people to get into it.
Yeah, trying to get the casual. That's a key point, and that's really it in terms of the TikTok. Actually, let me plug your YouTube as well.
Yeah, thanks.
If I can talk about your YouTube channel.
Yeah, the YouTube channel started a few months back. Was inspired by this guy, and it's been great so far. Post every single day on boxing, and a lot of people that may see this, they may say, oh, I'm not such a big boxing fan, but even if you're not a huge boxing fan, but you just watch the big fights or casual, I feel like I explain it in a way that makes it easy for anyone to understand it. So I think that's the key to boxing getting bigger and to your channel getting bigger is trying to get more people into it. And that's what Bob Arum had said. Bob Arum, probably the most successful boxing promoter in history. He said the key to promoting a fight is you want to get people who would not normally watch this fight to watch this fight, because the people that are the hardcore people, you're always going to have them. And it's the same thing with your channel. Like, you're going to have your hardcore people, but how do you make it where it's mainstream? Because I don't want it to be niche. I want it to be mainstream. And you take a thing like Bitcoin, that became mainstream. I had people tell me about it that they never were investing into anything. And, they never knew anything about anything, but they knew about it. That's what it has to get to. I remember when Amazon first started years back, it was like a niche thing. Only a few people bought something on Amazon. Now, if you don't have an Amazon account, you're considered like a freak. Like, how could you not have an Amazon account? all these things. Gmail. I remember when it was like people had Yahoo and Optimum. Now, if you don't have a Gmail account, it's like you're a weirdo. So I think with all these things, you have to figure out how to get people who would ordinarily not care about this to care about this.
Yeah, no,
And then you'll be able to grow.
that's amazing alpha over there, and that really translate into, so yeah, so a lot of people, they want to get Hex mainstream, and one of the things like people do, which I think is a little bit of a miss, it's not completely, I think it does some help, but it's like they want to get like Richard Hart onto like onto, let's say, Grant Cardone. So a cryptocurrency guy, a very niche cryptocurrency guy. Like, it's not like Bitcoin or Ethereum. It's very niche. It's still on the fringes. It's still kind of gate kept. And they want him talking to this audience that has like no familiarity with that. And the comparison I gave it to was like, you have this boxer with a lot of talent that could maybe even contend for the belt, but you don't put him at the main event for a couple of years even. So I'd want you to maybe go in on the promoting and how that works, and how to really get something to the point where it's like, once Richard Hart would be on one of these mainstream things, people would actually give a fuck.
Right, exactly. That's the key. And the problem is that if you were to put someone like Richard Hart on a mainstream thing right away, it would be the equivalent of putting a fighter on pay-per-view right away. It wouldn't work, because not only would that fight flop because nobody cares about it, but then going forward, people would be like, oh, that fight flopped. It looks bad. This, and this, and this, and this. We're not interested in him, because you only get one time to make a first impression. That saying goes.
Great point.
So you gotta build that up accordingly. So what you'll see a lot of times is you'll put him on the undercard, then you'll put him on another undercard. Very rarely do you see young prospects, unless they're like a huge prospect, get on that mainstream main event right away. Then you go main event, then you step up a better opponent, then a better opponent, then a better opponent, then a pay-per-view you do, then another one. Then you eventually get the super fight. And the thing with boxing is that they don't fight that frequently. So you need to do all these things to set up that one big event. I remember seeing a quote video, John Horn. He was Mike Tyson's manager. And he said, in these other sports, like let's say you have the NFL, you have a Super Bowl every single year, or other sports, you have a championship every single year. You have a built-in storyline, the champion, and it's always going to be big. It might be bigger based on who's in it or not, but you always have a big deal because it's a Super Bowl. In boxing, you don't have that. You don't have such a thing. You don't have a built-in storyline. So they have to build in the storyline for you, and that's why it takes years and years and years to build up a mega fight. So yeah, if you put Richard Hart on The View right now or on Grant Cardone, it'd be like, what is this? You have to get to the point where when he does get on that, it's at the point where enough people know about it and care about it, where it takes it to that next level. So
Exactly.
yeah, putting him on a Grant Cardone now, it might help him. I'm not saying it would hurt him, but it wouldn't do what I think a lot of people think it would do. And if he was on the show like that, maybe not Grant Cardone, but if he was on, let's say, like a mainstream talk show, that like people don't know anything about investing or finance, you got to speak in the most simple terms. And I think the problem with a lot of hardcore people when it comes to boxing and when it comes to crypto is they don't want to speak in simplistic terms, because it's like irritating to them that someone else doesn't know as much as they do. And they get very like territorial, like, no, this is team boxing. No, this is team crypto. No, this is team this. And it's like, I don't want to have people who know less than me into this. I don't want to have people that know less than me conversing with me, have a conversation with me. And the problem with that is that your thing's not going to grow if you do that. And the money that the casual person spends is the same money that the hardcore person spends. The $100 that they put in is the same 100 that you put in. The 1,000 they put in is the same 1,000 that you put in. And if you want your thing to get bigger and better, you're going to need some of those people, because not everyone's going to be as into it as you are. And I think that's the problem that people fall into when they are into these niche things. And when you take something mainstream, you take something like Starbucks, you take something like the NFL, some guy might watch one NFL game a year. Some guy might watch one NFL game a week. Some people might watch every NFL game. Some people might go to Starbucks every single day. Some people might only know what Starbucks is. They might go once a year, but in order for that thing to grow, more casual people have to get into it. So I think that's the biggest mistake that people make. That's the biggest miss people make. They try to like overcomplicate it and try to tell them everything about this and this and that in crypto. Keep it as simple as possible at first, and then if they're more into it, you could build your way up, because you didn't know everything you know now about crypto when you first started, but first you probably heard about it through somebody. I never asked you that. What got you into it even? First, you probably heard about it from somebody, a friend, or online or whatever. And then you probably oh, this is interesting. And now look at you. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, I love everything that you just said. It's like so practical with regards to this because like you said, like these people are very technical and it gets frustrating. They have to explain it on, a very simple level. And it's
100%.
like, let's say, okay, you get Richard Hart on The View. What would be like, you get him on Jimmy Fallon. It's like, where are you going to start? Fallon's probably going to be like, isn't it that FTX, crypto scam thing? And then he's going to have to explain all that. By the time he's finished, with that, he's not even getting to Hex. It's like, that's why I'm trying to say, like, you want to pique people's interest now. And the way to do that is by showing those TikToks and YouTube shorts of like him in those crazy clothing. It's like, who is that guy? It's like, wow, he's really interesting. He's like sort of that, that billionaire crypto guy that made his own cryptocurrency. And then things start peaking. People get interested, and then they start watching more, and maybe they learn more about crypto. And obviously crypto is emerging its way into the mainstream. And there will come a point where he's so big and crypto's so big that he gets on Jimmy Fallon. It's like, I heard you have, and also it's like, I heard you have, all these, you had this crypto that made billionaires. It's like that kind of thing. And like, also right now we're in a bear market, and like people see the prices down. They don't understand it's cyclical. They don't understand. It's like, you have to explain all those things to them. They don't understand a logarithmic chart, basically. You probably aren't familiar with that, but it shows the chart. Like, they don't understand all these things. And
Right.
it's like, where do you start? It's like, right now Hex is fringe, and it has to be marketed as such. You have to go to people that are already deep in the niche. Just like, when you're doing a regular when you're doing like a boxing video, and it's not like a Jake Paul or like maybe like a fight like the caliber of like a Canelo Triple G. You're talking to, like, you can't, like, you're gonna have to use more niche boxing hashtags. You're gonna try and have to reach an audience that is more niche and more technical about boxing, because those are the best people to subscribe. That's like your best base in
Agreed.
terms of that. So what are your thoughts on everything I just said?
Well, yeah, 100%. You have to know your audience. And I think with Richard Hart, what I think his appeal is to a lot of people is that the way he looks and acts, it doesn't seem like the way other billionaires act. So I think a lot of people, they see that, they're like, oh, I thought a billionaire had to be this and this and this way. It really doesn't. And I think that is what makes him such an interesting figure in the media, because it's like, whoa, this guy, he's wearing like clothing I'm wearing, and like, he's acting the way I'm acting, and he's a billionaire. Like, you have a lot of people have a certain perception of a billionaire, that they have to act a certain way. So I think that is probably his, strongest selling point as like a person. Like, he seems like a fun person,
Yeah.
not just, a knowledgeable person. But 100% when it comes to the niche stuff. But yeah, I don't want my stuff to be niche. I want it to be mainstream, and I think that's the key. You have to know your audience, and don't get me wrong, you can't lose your base. But I feel like if you're a niche fan, you're going to be there anyways, and they're the ones that you have. Now you got to focus on bringing in other people and keeping the people that you have.
Yeah. So that's great points. And like Tate, like, originally was niche, and they
Right.
were appealing to niche people. They were, trying to get into like those young Trump supporters. They were trying to get into that kind of crowd. They were trying to get into maybe the manosphere kind of crowd. That was like a great area to market. And then they built up the base, and those people started putting out the shorts and stuff. And then, it piqued enough people's attention that now he's pretty mainstream. I mean, he's been on Pierce Morgan. Everybody watched it. He's been on Aiden Ross. He's that guy with 3 million subs. He's been on Tucker Carlson. That's the most watched cable news show. And everybody was watching because they built, like, let's say he would have went on Tucker and was saying those things like 2 years ago before it was mainstream. It would just be like, this guy's crazy. And, he's that weird guy that was on a couple of months ago. It wasn't a big deal. But once you get it, once you pique people's attention and really get some mainstream clout, then you could start going mainstream, you know?
I agree 100%. Yeah, I agree. I wonder if they would have turned down an opportunity to be on the show early. They probably wouldn't have. But yeah, the way it worked out now is probably better for him because had he got on too early, it probably still would help him a little bit, but I don't think he would do major stuff. And he's at the point now where he's ready to go mainstream. It's it's like it's the same thing when you make a company, right? And they grow investors and then they become public. They don't become public right away because they're not
Yeah.
going to make any money that way. They become public when it's ready to take off because they have enough people into it where now we could really blow this thing open.
It's a great point. And like, if you look on Twitter, if you look on like the Hex Twitter, you see like a lot of people are saying like they're trying to tag like at, these like big celebrities, like at Logan Paul, can you have at Richard Hart on your show? And it's like, probably not going to happen. And even if it happens, it's not going to be a big deal. It'll just be sort of a drop in the bucket. There are a lot of people that come on Logan Paul's show and it's not a big deal. And I don't see why he'd be the exception at this point.
Agreed.
But that could change. And I keep on thinking like, if instead of like exerting all your energy to try and catch these people's attention, why don't you just make 1 or 2 shorts a day? Those things have been going far beyond anything. Like there's been like a huge just increase in the attention brought to Richard Hart just from starting these shorts and TikToks. But so guys, again, subscribe to Joey Talks Boxing. Excellent insight into boxing, and he's trying to make it mainstream, and he's a Mexican. Okay, so he's a PulseX OG. But
yeah, for real.
Look in the comments. We got Moon Mutt. Don't get to see you live very often, but I watch all your stuff. Love what you're doing. Thanks, bro. Appreciate you tuning in, Moon Mutt, and please like and subscribe. We could move on. We could look at a little bit of Twitter. We got me. I talked about the Bitcoin bottom being in because it was basically Richard Hart called 11K. He said 11K. And so far, the local bottom is at 15,000, right? It went down all the way to 15,000. Now we're going up. And I'm saying he said 11K because it dropped 85% last cycle, but it was up like over 100x. It was up over 100x in the last cycle. This one, it only went up 17x. So why can't it crash less? Does that make sense? Like if it goes up less, it could crash less. It makes sense. Can you hear me?
You there?
Oh, shoot. Could you hear me?
Hello? Yeah, I hear you. What's up?
Yeah, I was just saying like Bitcoin could have bottomed because it went up less, so it could crash. It could crash less. Does that make sense?
I can't really see your screen, but yeah, it makes sense. I mean, is it fair to say that since Bitcoin pumped less, perhaps it doubled as the bottom food for thought? 11K probably was based on. You would know better than me this stuff. I mean, I think so.
Yeah.
This stuff. Yeah.
That was just my thoughts. And then there were these other cryptos this girl's talking about that did like 1000x. BNB did a 6001. So she's saying ETH did 10,000. Saying Pulsechain could also do same sort of numbers. Do you think Pulsechain, PulseX are going to go a couple thousand X's and you'll get that early retirement that you want?
I think it has a very good chance to. I mean, I think a lot of people, they shut down the possibility very quickly. But if you looked at these other things, they would say the same thing. Like, no, that can never happen. But I think what's very difficult for a lot of people is that they have a tough time seeing what's not in front of them. They have a tough time having foresight. And, they don't understand. Like, they don't understand something that's imagination. They don't understand something that's not right in front of them. And they have a tough time comprehending, like, whoa, that's not possible. Like, why is it not possible? Because it's not right in front of you right now and it didn't happen to you. So yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, it could do the same. Yeah. I don't listen. You obviously study this a lot more than me, and you know the trends. But who would have thought that? Who would have thought any of this would be big 5 years ago, 10 years ago? Like,
Yeah.
you wouldn't be like, what's virtual money? Like, what is that? Like, that's not like, it's like you would think that none of it would be big. So I think there's a great chance that it does the same, or
Yeah,
at least that it goes up somewhat. Maybe not to the same level, but that it goes up.
no, I would agree with you. And Hex did a 10,000x, and everyone thought he was crazy. He said, Hart said it could do a 10,000x, and everyone's like, he's crazy, and it did a 10,000x. So now he's
Right,
got another
exactly.
one.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, and obviously your reputation matters and your credibility matters. So I don't see why people are like so quick to shut this down. Like it's not possible.
So what would you do if you have that not work again money? What's
What would I do? I
what's
would
the
check in
plan,
every.
bro?
I would check in every day at 12, and I would watch this. That would be the first thing I would do. But no, obviously, spend time with my loved ones. Watch a lot of boxing. Kick it with you, obviously, and watch your channel. Um, I think the biggest thing, though, for me and for most people, when it comes to having all the money, it's not so much what you would do. It's much more what you would not do and what you would not have to worry about. And I think that's why a lot of people are so enamored with all this kind of stuff. Hex, Pulsechain, Ethereum, all these things, because having money isn't like it's a big deal, but that's not the thing. The point is that it's that you don't not have money. You don't have to worry about the
You
problems of
don't
not
have to
having
work.
money. Yeah, you don't have to, and not just work. Pay your bills, stress. You got family, you got this, you got that. It's a lot. So I think money takes care of a lot of the problems that you have that you wouldn't have that you would have had you not had money. It's funny. Bill Gates, he said money's overrated, and I'm thinking in my head like it's interesting how he would say money's overrated, but he doesn't know what it's like to have the problems of not having money. So it's easy for him to say money's overrated.
That's a very good
But
point.
it's like, yeah, I think what he meant to say is like, if you have all that money, like, what are you going to do with it? This, that, like, it probably gets old. Like, okay, I went to this place. Okay, I bought this out. Like, that probably gets old. But what doesn't get old is the fact that he's has a lot less worries on him.
That's a great point. I feel like money, like once you get beyond the point of like worrying about getting money, it might be overrated, but until
Agreed.
then it's like maybe even, can we say underrated? Can we say it's underrated?
It's underrated. It's everything. It really is, man. It's there's two types of people that say money is overrated. They're the people that have other people that they know or grew up with that have a lot of money, so they're hating on them. So they're saying
Okay.
money's overrated because they got no money, and there are people that they're jealous of having the money. So like, yeah, money's overrated. They're coping. Or it's a Bill Gates type where they have so much money that like they don't know what it's like to not have money and have the problems with money.
Yeah.
Everyone else understands how important money is. You got people getting up at 5 a.m. to clock into work. They understand how important money is. So yeah, I agree. Probably when you hit a certain threshold, and I don't know about this, it would get overrated because it's like, yeah, you run out of stuff to buy in places you've never been. But I think that it's underrated up until then, and that's why the people that are on your channel most probably are people that are investing, that are hustling, that are grinding, and they understand what it means to maybe not have so much, and that's why they're so into it.
Yeah, it's a great point. I guess maybe it could also be overrated if like you just grew up rich and it never was an issue because you can't really like appreciate what it's like to not have money.
Exactly. Same thing. Exactly. Yes. Exactly.
Some great points. Bring in the alpha.
Yeah.
Joey talks boxing. And then this was a thing. So basically the sacrificers, so the people that threw the money for the PulseX. So the second biggest so PulseX sacrifice address is the second biggest holder of DAI, which is US dollars in crypto, which means a lot of money was given, I guess. But that's interesting. And we don't have to get into this. We could do that on a different show. And we could cover the tether tomorrow because that's not really we don't have to do that today. But I guess we could look at the chat a little bit. If you guys have any super chats, you got any boxing questions, drop them in here. You got any cryptocurrency questions? Drop them in here. You got any questions about anything? Drop them in here. But make sure you're subscribed to Joey Talks Boxing, because that is an excellent channel. What are your thoughts on that, Joey?
Yeah, of course. Like the last point, make sure you're subscribed to Joey Talks Boxing. And yeah, excellent stuff, excellent channel. And Furu Finance, #1, the best. So if you want it, you got to come here 12 o'clock every single day, Monday through Thursday.
Oh, yeah. And you got some fire streams, but you're not like on a regular schedule. It's just more spontaneous. That's why you got to hit the bell. You got to turn the notifications on.
Yeah, you do. You do. Yeah. Yeah.
But we got this. So how about partnering with an influencer with millions of followers? I have a good one. He'll be wanted. He'll want to be compensated. Any ideas? So what do you think about the idea, like, as promoting Richard Hart, like having him partner with, like, let's say an Aiden Ross kind of thing?
You asking me what I think of it? I thought he was asking you that, but
well, I'm asking you, and then I'm gonna say. I could go first if you want.
I don't know. Listen, I don't know like how big like all these guys are, like, individually, but I guess it would make sense. Yeah, it would make sense for him, but it could be the way Hart's thinking is like, okay, like, who are these people? Like, who are they appealing to? Like, these influencers? Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It depends. It's like, if it's Jake Paul, it's like, okay. I mean, I guess
his fan base is a bunch of 12-year-olds, so it's like,
if you get him on like Jake Paul, like for every show, which is not possible, then I guess, because he could really dig deep and like explain things clearly over a long period of time. But like getting on one show, it's like you're not gonna hit the grand slam. You need more time. But I guess like if it's a crypto influencer, that would be something to consider. That's what I was thinking.
Right, exactly, yeah. And a lot of these people that are like fans of these influencers are like little kids, so they don't even have their own money to invest anyways. So it's like, I guess they can tell their parents, but I don't know.
Yeah, no. So it's interesting. So the example I gave with Tate is like, people say TikTok is all kids, and I say that's not true. But even with regards to the kids, so like Joe Rogan's like, I don't really like Andrew Tate, but my kids love him. It's like, don't you want Joe Rogan's kids liking Richard Hart? I think that's something more palatable, and it's something that could really onboard him. So like the kids have rich parents, so
I guess. Yeah.
Okay. I give you guys another minute. I guess I could answer this one. It says, hey, did Richard Hart say Hex on ETH-W is bad, or that we just need to wait for the chain to be good? ETH-W will never be good, because ETH-W is proof of work, and proof of work isn't good. And he said it's not good, and I don't see any future for ETH-W. Maybe it'll pump the way Ethereum Classic did, where it just had the ETH symbol, so people just bought into it, but that's not the kind of thing I want to take chances with. But that's what I'd say. It looks like we don't have any more chats. What are your closing thoughts?
Closing thoughts are Furu Finance got me into this, helped me out a lot. I've been, I don't know about day one, but I've been OG with Pulse and with Hex, and he's helped me out a lot. I think he helped out a lot of people with this. I think this is growing. I staked for 15 years, but if you want to, something more immediate, I understand that you would stake for a short period of time, but definitely listen to what he has to say. This is definitely growing. This is definitely legit. Subscribe to Furu Finance if you haven't already, and subscribe to Joey Talks Boxing, where I give you the past, present, and future of boxing, and I put it in a way that every single person, even if you're not the biggest fan, if you are the person that watches it once every 5 years, or you're the person that watches every day, you'd still get a lot out of it. So please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and enjoy the content.
Yeah, we appreciate that. And we got 46 watching. If you guys are coming in now, you better watch the rerun, because Joey talks the alpha on promotion, some great stuff. And hey, he might even have some Hex content once he's, retired and has nothing better to do and has all this Hex. So appreciate you guys watching. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to Joey Talks Boxing on YouTube, subscribe, follow Joey Talks Boxing on TikTok, follow all the TikTokers in the chat, join the TikTok chat, become a Patreon, guys. Let me just link the Patreon real quick. Just become a Patreon. We got some great benefits. We're adding some great benefits. We got 2 right now. You get a free 1-hour consultation. just email me, furufinance@gmail.com. Say you became a Patreon. Silver or gold, so it's 20 or 30, and you get a consultation, which is $100 value, and you could rescind your Patreon, but I'm hoping you don't. But yeah, go click the become a Patreon. You get access to the Discord, you get discounts, you get other benefits, and we're gonna have more to come. But Joey, thank you so much for coming on. Everyone else, have a great rest of your day. I'll see you tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern time.